Rise and shine, Rwanda.
Good morning, you're watching Rwanda's #1 breakfast show with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Peace Quizera. Coming up on Rise and Shine.
We take a close interview with the ladies going to the Ivy Leagues.
We look at Gakondo music reunited to bring us the finest traditional music.
In cricket, Challenges Cricket Club retains Vera Nadu Cup. Well, all that and more still to come, but first we open up the floor right now. Good morning, gentlemen and ladies.
Good morning, Ivan.
All right, now that was the warm-up. Anyways, I hope you're ready, Stephen.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready. It's a new morning,
Yeah.
fresh as a butterfly.
I always love it when you start that. Recently it was the sunshine, now it's the butterfly. Okay, we'll take
Yeah.
it. Chantal, you okay for today?
I'm very okay.
All right.
I feel refreshed. It's a good morning indeed.
All right, for our people out there, of course, we'll be right back. Just stay with us with the stories making headlines. Starting off with the local stories, the media practitioners and other stakeholders in the industry have called for better and constant training of journalists on how to detect and suppress hate speech, while media houses were urged to put in place and enforce an in-house policy for usual media use to keep dangerous speech at bay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you already know, the reason why this story is very important, again, as they were celebrating the Press Freedom Day, is because, as you already know, hate speech was one of the things that actually triggered one of the things that was used during the genocide against the Tutsi in Rwanda. And for many media houses around the world, hate speech is used every day almost in some countries to make sure they degrade or be used as a weapon of human violation in any way or the other. So for me, I believe that, again, that's why I brought up this debate on this floor, that we can have a little bit more intellectual discussion on hate speech. And especially, I think we were together when we were attending one of the events that says words that kill. I think you could be able to share something of what you've learned over the idea of the hate speech and all the ideology behind it.
Well, some of the things that I saw there, the words that kill, they I experienced the fact that anything that you say, whether you're on the radio or any kind of media, you have the power to create such an impact or to say something that can have such a huge impact on people. The people in the villages used to hear someone saying something, and then it would be kind of like a rule or something, like an instruction for them to do. It's just kind of that, but that's basically what I got. We need to be careful with the things that we say, because we don't know who will be hurting, and basically that. But for me, I really think whatever you say, you kind of think about and kind of look at it in an angle of the person who is listening before you actually let it out, because you don't know how much effect that you might be having on the person that you are talking to or you're addressing to.
Now, Stephen, one of the things, of course, we're in a position of influence right now, and what we say does affect the lives of the people daily. And for me, I want you to put it in a perspective, especially to open up the dialogue. The modern, especially the after genocide or the post media after the genocide, doing at least to make sure that we address the issue? What could be done so that we can actually fight hate speech within media? Because hate speech is not freedom of speech at all.
No, it isn't. Well, what I think, this is a good initiative, but the other thing we could do is, there are some words you can't say out, point blank. So we get softer words we use, but we still mean the same thing. So language grows. If you say you can't say this, somebody finds another word to say it. And you may know some examples. So I think these measures should grow with as the language grows. I think that way we'll keep aware.
And of course, again, with the media reforms, I think they could, maybe what you're trying to tackle, I think, could be one of the things that they really be careful about, because people are so talented of how they twist around with words.
Yeah, sure.
And media reforms should be able to, of course, to be, to have that power to, notice and try to, analyze
even
and evolve around that kind of issue. But of course, as journalists, we hope that we have the capacity to influence people, but more in building lives and of course creating the impact that we all see. Now moving on to a second story which goes on to the region. Kenya moves to end refugee hosting. Now, as you already know, in the region, Kenya plays a very big role, Chantal.
Yes.
I think with the hosting refugees, especially with the divested Horn of Africa, we've seen very many refugees in Kenya from Somalia, from South Sudan, and because of the war in Darfur and the war in Mogadishu and other parts of Somalia. But do you think this is actually a good plan for Kenya to actually stop hosting these refugees and putting boundaries to the neighbors and saying, no, we have had enough of these for all this generation? Your take on that?
No, I don't think it's right to stop refugees from coming in, because most of the countries that border Kenya have actually political unrest. We've seen that from Somalia.
Don't you think then also that could be a threat to Kenya's security, because every country's number one priority is actually protection of their citizens?
All they can do is tighten the security. Pushing them away will not
But
leave them
tightening the
safe.
security already has been done, but the fact that Al-Shabaab has always been attacking, especially through these people that are idle, unemployed, at the end of the day causing the chaos, especially in Kenya.
Well, I don't think pushing them off is the solution anyway.
What could be the solution?
They will always try to come in, and they'll come in a bad way, in an illegal way. It will actually create more crime. What I think is that they can let them in, and they can try to teach them, let me say that, teach them and try to give them the basics,
Would you say that actually when you try to teach, it's such a big number of people?
It's a big
so
number,
I would
I
love to know
understand.
actually, that's a lot of government expenditure, especially on people that are not even citizens. I understand they're neighbors, but they're number one priority, and I think Kenya has very many issues that they're
Yes,
trying to deal
yes.
with.
But
Why would
then-
there be a priority for them to take care of thousands of refugees from South Sudan
and pushing
Support
them
your
away,
argument
just
over
like
that.
I keep saying, pushing them away is not going to solve this problem.
And that's
This
why
is-
I need a
This is
solution.
this is where they'll come in illegally, and
Yeah.
everything will just become illegal.
Yeah.
But if they can find a place, like every country has its own problems,
Yes,
right?
yes.
But you always share the little you have. They can find a place and set tents for them there, like Rwandans are doing for Burundians,
Yeah.
right? It's not like we have the biggest country, but we have the biggest number of refugees flocking in.
Yeah.
So I think the best way is to get a place and station them there and give them the best they can. You understand?
Well, I would love to cross the debate over
Yes.
to Stephen. I think something is burning up over there. Stephen, of course, part of what we have seen also, this has happened within the migration crisis, even in Europe, is that actually it's humanity to actually have these people in. But at the end of the day, you need also to see the economical factor.
Yes.
You need also to see the social factor and the political structure, everything. That's a lot of planning. And for people to just come in, and especially with refugees in Kenya that have been there for quite a long time because of the conflict in the Horn of Africa.
Yeah.
Would you actually agree with Chantal over here? Or you have another perspective view of how you view this kind of decision?
Well, if you allow the refugees in, every country has a carrying capacity. But I think maybe what they should do is, at the end of the day, it's the elephants fighting and the young people who are the grass who are suffering.
Yes.
So maybe Kenya should take a step and, talk to the leadership in these countries. Okay, it's hard to negotiate with the Al-Shabaab or not, but also at the top they can do something while as they try to stem the flow of refugees, across the border.
All right, we'll see. Of course, we hope the debate also goes on, and let us know your opinion on that, and let us know what you think about Kenya's decision of stopping the host of refugees. Now, moving on to another story. South African judge has been sparked racism row after she reportedly said on social media that rape was part of the culture of black men. Judge Mabel Jason said the gang rape of babies, girls, and women was, of course, a usual black black men. Now, of course, this has triggered. Now, this
It
is
has.
somebody, of course, this is the Rainbow Nation people. This
Yeah,
is
yeah,
South
it is.
Africa, right? And of all comments, a judge from South Africa, I think she is suffering, of course. We've seen South Africa going through very many, in the past few months, very many racism riots and everything. What do you think this means for South African policies, the social structure of South Africa, the Black Lives Matter in South Africa, the Whites Matter, the White Lives Matter in South Africa?
It means, well, it kind of means they're not safe, and safety is usually needed for us. You know, just imagine if we went through apartheid and then there were people like different, you know, people living in here, like white people living in our country, and all this stuff was happening to us. You know, we would kind of be worried. So I think, you know, they have every reason to start protesting and, you know, doing different things to create awareness that these things shouldn't be happening to them, you know, over the...
Well, Peace, this is another issue also we tend to see. Of course, do you support the impeachment of this same judge because of what he said? What she says? Well,
yeah, they need to impeach her, because if a person of such stature makes such a statement, I mean, it sets a precedence. You never know what another man on the ground, a normal person, will do. And then something I want to add, there's another South African, okay, of the European origin, called Boaz, I think. So he made another comment and said that, well, there was a move by the government to stop sports activities, and he said something racist also on Twitter. So they term it as over the braai conversation. You mean that's when there's something called a braai. It's like meat, they do barbecue, and well, that's the talk they are supposed to have behind fences and everything. But we see it coming up on social media. Well, I wonder what really is causing that trend, because that's not the first incident.
Well, of course, that's not the first incident happening, and of course we hope that something could be done, especially with the issues of racism in South Africa. Of course, we want to see the Rainbow Nation, like all the Tata Mandelas said. Well, of course, now we take it up from there. We're going to see what's trending, especially Peace has the hot topics. Peace.
Well, I'm always excited. And now, as we know, the Ubuntu festival is coming on in July, around 14th. You know, this is where, you know, we hear that over 18 countries will be participating in this. And I just want to know what this means for you, you know, because this is meant to, you know, play out and educate, you know, different people about what happened in the genocide. And, you know, the creative way of arts to create awareness about different things. So what do you guys have to say about this, you know, especially with over 18 countries coming in to participate and, you know, help, you know, Rwanda with their own kind of art skills and mixing up their different, you know, cultures and ways of, you know, acting with ours, you know. What Chantal, starting off with you.
Yes, I'm burning. I love this initiative because it gets to expose Rwanda, the real Rwanda, through art. You know, as Africans, we have this thing of art. So if we can express our history through art, it can be best understood, even with the person who will never read to understand. You understand? So about the genocide, very many people have misconceptions about the genocide. They don't know the truth. But the Rwandans themselves know the truth, and they can portray that through art. I think it's the best way to show the public and to even interact with other people and know more about other cultures.
Moving on, Ivan.
This is I was very lucky to be part of the Ubuntu festival last year. It was one of the best events during summer. Now, of course, for my summer people out there, I'm pretty sure they're waiting up to come and join us as we celebrate this Ubuntu festival. Part of what we saw, Peace, I would love to say that I saw the most organized event, because in terms of organization, it was amazing. Now, in terms of the whole setup, it was amazing. But what was more outstanding was even the plays on stage. I mean, these are amazing. It attracted very many talents. We saw the likes of Philip Luswata. from
okay.
Uganda. People who have watched Makutano Junction know
Yes.
very well
Okay.
Fake Water. We saw very many people. Mashirika here was representing their best game ever. And I think now bringing it, even making it bigger to 18 countries, I mean, I can't just wait for the
It's a-
summer to
it's
bring
a
it out,
cue.
the Ubuntu Festival.
Sure,
Would you
sure.
like to
Well,
add anything?
You know, I've seen this country take on many, take up on many fronts. We've seen they were representing in the World Economic Forum. Even, you know what I'm talking about. But when you see more Rwandans participating in these performance arts, and it's really, marketing our country. And the fact that 18 countries come, they've come for many, the World Economic Forum to the Rwanda, now they're coming for this,
Festival.
this festival arts.
Yeah.
Well, it's amazing, sure. These
I'm
people have done
excited
well.
as well. As we know, Ubuntu means humanity, in our
Ubuntu.
language. And,
Yeah.
I'm glad that people are being humanitarians to come into Rwanda and help just in any way that they
And
can.
there's a
Usually,
Ubuntu conference happening by very soon.
as well.
Okay.
We are excited, to be bringing this on board, and we can't wait, to attend the different things that will happen. You guys should go as well, but we'll have everything for you, in stock just in case anything comes up. But moving on to the next hot topic, now we go to Zimbabwe. Now, with the inflation and having billions as one note, just imagine that. For us, we hear that the main note here is like 5,000, and over there it's like 50 billion. 50 billion. Imagine one note that has like 50 billion on it. Now we hear that they will be moving on to making dollars and the South African rand, to make sure that the inflation rates, are not, because the cash flow is really, affecting the people right now. But what would you guys have to add on this,
Personally, I would take my view in terms of economical factors. Robert Mugabe right now is a desperate man, especially with his economical, with the economical part of his country, especially of how the Zimbabwean, whatever they call it, is doing on the market. Of course, they have not been trading with the rest of the region very well, which means actually I think this. I'm not that much of an economical analyst, but I think this could be one of the solutions if you look at one of the disparate measures that could be taken by any economical person. But again, it's kind of weird that it has to come to this end, but I feel sad because of Zimbabwe, such a rich country and such with rich resources, at the end of the day suffering in terms of
Actually, there is a positive in this. Printing local dollars, because before they had dollars, American dollars, but because there was no outflow of those notes and inflow, they had to wash them so that they can use them again. So if they can mint some locally, I think with some, it's not a good measure, but they can continue like that.
Chantal, do you have anything to add about this?
I can't help but feel sad for Zimbabwe. It's been very many years with that bad inflation, very acute inflation. And I can't imagine if printing those dollars is going to help. I'm not quite sure. And it's going to take some time, of course. So there's still time for Zimbabwe to think about it and try to recover, and plus the economic reforms should really be revised. That's what I think.
All right. Of course, that's all we had for you today for Hot Topics, but we'll of course always gather and come up with the most interesting things. But we'll be right back after the break with the story of the day.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda, story of the day with me, Ivan Magwene. Now, it's not usual that you get to see a group of 3 young ladies make their way through Rwandan education to join in the world's most prestigious universities like Harvard, Brown, or Yale. We're talking about the Ivy Leagues. Now, the story you're about to witness is one of hard work and commitment. Let's take a look.
Good sense of humor, laughter, and of course, very deep ideas. This is a trio of former Gashua girls who are all attending the best universities in fall this year. They got accepted into Harvard, Brown, and Columbia University. We sat down with these ladies to talk about their journeys in education and what they think about different topics from girl education in Rwanda to feminism.
I think that I have a lot of things that I would love to do, other than work for someone and, probably a bunch of boring filing things. And so I think that it's better to do my own things, girl up, I debate, I do coaching, volunteering, read books. So I pretty much have the freedom to decide what I do with my time. So yeah, I feel like that would have been a better experience than finding a job which I probably will not like very much. Okay, if I can answer. So I went to Fawe Girls School, which I think was the beginning of, my journey to empowerment, which is not complete yet, but, it's on the way. One thing that I've liked about being in an all-girls school is that you don't have to be, the competition there is more, gender-free. So what that means is basically everything that I do not, pin the label of being female onto that. So I did debate, I did this and that, and it was more, encouraging and empowering to be in an all-girls environment, which is where I started doing competitive debate. And, I kind of had a whole new perspective on education, that it wasn't just in the classroom that I would grow, but also, get involved in other things. And that culture continued in Gashora, where the school gives absolute freedom to pursue any kind of interest you want to do and to learn, new things, because I didn't know, how big the fight of, girl empowerment was in the world, let alone in the country. And that's why I learned it from different clubs and different...
Talk to people and interact, and how...
If you become a doctor, you will end school at it. Can do certain things, can be, certain things to a certain level. But what he meant by that is that men are scared of girls who achieve so much than they do. And we shouldn't have to live with that, because I'm not scared of and suffer, for the choices they've made. And men shouldn't be scared that girls can be better than them or just as good. So yeah, basically that's my idea for it.
As the ladies prepare to start college this August, they have been engaging in community service, running programs in women empowerment, debate, and SAT preparation classes. Ivan Magwene, Rise and Shine Rwanda.
And joining us today in studio is Uwaseranja Angela and Mutako Diana. Of course, the ladies that have been able to join up the Ivy Leagues. Welcome to the studio.
Thank
Now
you.
I understand this is your second time, so kudos to that. All right.
Thank
All
you.
right there. Okay. This is an inspiring story. Number one reason, it's not the fact that, it's girls going to Ivy Leagues. Well, it is sort of way, but one thing that I like about this story when I was doing a little bit of my analysis is that I look at the kind of education that you are getting and what it represents you to be joining the Ivy Leagues. In that process, I was able to come up and say, this is a tremendous story. Seeing a trial of 3 Gashora girls from the same school being able to join a school, even it's a part in the USA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like Miley Cyrus said it. But right now, I want to know, what are your feelings? What are you so excited about? What are you looking so forward to? I'll start with you, Diana.
Well, about my feelings regarding getting into an Ivy, so it's an Ivy League, it's a very good school, one of the best schools in the US, obviously, so it has a lot to offer in terms of education, in terms of research, and personally I'm planning on taking engineering, so a lot of research in there, and a lot more you can explore and discover out there, so that part is really exciting, and of course, going out, seeing the world and stuff. So it's very exciting, but personally it also comes with a lot of pressure. Pressure from everyone, and thinking that Takojan, yes, she was able to get into an Ivy League, but what happened afterwards? What did that girl who got into a great university, what did she do? So personally it comes with a lot of pressure to do very well while in that school, which is not usually easy, but it also comes with a lot of pressure to plan my life and make sure that I make good use of that rare opportunity that I got.
Yes, and now I would like to point it out to Angela. From the tales of your dormitories, from the tales of your classroom walls, it takes a lot to be able to achieve this same dream. For some people, they think it's a straightforward word because you're in a good school or you've been given the right education. But tell us of a little bit of the secret behind the success that we think people should know about.
Okay, thank you very much. One of the things that I think really helped us, and I'm going to speak personally for now, I think that it was, the faith and courage I had to take the chance, because from the very beginning, all these schools sound so big, and we are girls in Africa, in Rwanda, and in Gashora, the village, and it just feels like, they're so far away, and we can't be able to do that. So finding it inside your heart to take that chance and believe that you can actually get into an Ivy League, I think that was the first and most fundamental step that we all had to take, to believe that we can do it, and believe that God would help us get there. And then on top of that, we also had to do all these things that, in school, do extracurricular activities, get engaged in the things we loved, do them at our the best we could, and also the classes, maintain a good grade, and all these different responsibilities we had to take together. It was all, and maybe sometimes it felt like too much, but at the end of the day, we believed that we could, get into the schools. So.
All right, now bring you, of course, now I would love to know a little bit about what, especially, of course, it's a part in the US when students go to Ivy Leagues. I've seen it in the movies. I haven't seen it live, but I know it's a very big deal, and I'm so happy for you girls. But I want to know, excuse me, ladies, I would love to know, first of all, what has been the response of, the society, especially your families. What has it been like? Has it been the joy that every parent, they know about what is really happening? Or it's just like, you're going to university, no big deal. I just know it's a good school, but you're just going. So, I just want to know how it feels like out there.
Oh, well,
from your side, what happened?
Personally, out there, it really feels very normal.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I wish I could say that, it was extreme. And, well, on my side, it was. I was, like, very excited and very, very happy about it.
Yeah.
But my parents, they do have an idea of what an Ivy League is. But, it's university, I think, and my father especially, he has a policy, maybe it's where I get all the pressure from, but he won't really be happy unless I've done something unusual. He's like, we'll see what we'll do with that special education. With that, then I can say that he went to a good school. Otherwise, it's all the same.
Over there.
Yeah.
Now, Angela, women empowerment, feminism, everything, they've talked about it. It's the drive of the monde today. Would you say that kind of triggered your hard work in school? And what is your own perspective on, do you think that kind of affects the way the girl performs in school, especially if they're told the idea and the whole idea behind the motive?
I don't think it changed very much. I think that I can never say I was a victim very much of, sexism. I think that even from primary school and O-level, even, before I even became old enough to start understanding such complex matters in society, I think I already had the drive in school that I needed to have to be able to do the kind of things that I did. However, how I think that has affected me is I now want to extend this opportunity to, other girls and, show them they can do it. I feel like this is no longer just me going to a good school. I feel like, this is me going to a good school to help other girls be able to do the same thing, Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I would love to wrap it up as we're coming to the conclusion of this story. Now, you told me you wanted to be an engineer. In any way or the other, what do you think actually the education that you think you hope to acquire would, what would you want to see that, what kind of impact do you think your education is going to create? Especially people have big hopes in you. If you look at your school, it's a great initiative just put there to create impact, and especially impact even within the communities. Part of what I've seen, especially with your YouTube videos, you're trying to create impact when you're still in school. Now, I can't imagine a girl that has been well educated going to an Ivy League. There's much more what I call message of something that should be coming up. What do you have for us maybe in the future, 5 years from now?
Well, I don't have a very clear picture.
Still figuring out?
Yeah, I'm
All
still
right.
figuring it out. But I can say that what I look forward to finding in my path is, as a tech engineering, is I hope to find a way to. I believe very much in science and the, technology and what it can do for people in general, for anyone, from farmers to movie makers, and I think that technology can have a very huge impact on people and science. So that's why I want to take engineering, and I'm very glad that I got to take it from a place like Brown, where Brown has a very open curriculum, so it allows you to mix it up, mix it with other fields of study that can help you talk to people, get engaged. So I believe that with such a kind of education, I'll be able to figure it out even if I don't have a clear picture right now. But through all that experience I will have gotten, I'll be able to, use that engineering education that I get to actually create impact, like you said.
All right, now, of course, as we're closing up this one for our viewers, we'd love to have the fun question. Of course, you're leaving for the United States in the fall, right? And of course, you'll be coming closer to the fact that the US people, the US citizens are going for their elections. So far, you've been following the trend. Unfortunately, we're not able to get that part in the video where you are showing off what your thoughts on the elections are. But let's say you've been given the opportunity. I'll start with Diana over here. Would it be Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump?
Would any black person vote for Donald Trump?
Anyone.
Would anyone do that? He's very, even if he's not able to do all that he says he wants to do, but the fact that he still has the intention of building a wall between Mexico and the US, or I actually heard that he has a list of students that he's going to send back home, and Rwanda is on that. Rwanda students are on that list, so definitely not Donald Trump.
All right, Angela, financing up. Of course, Angela, do you think America has a female president this year, and would you love to see that happening?
Of course, I would love to see.
I don't want you to base this fact on just the fact that Hillary Clinton is a woman, but I also want to base it that is she capable of actually handling an international, the whole U.S. as a superpower.
Yeah, I don't doubt in any way that she is capable of being president. However, I wouldn't want her to be voted because she is a woman, which I believe she is capable of doing. But if America can trust her to be their president, not because she's a woman, but because she's a capable leader who has experience in politics, has been following up even her experience in international relations and making friendships with different countries for the United States. I think that would be a very good turn of events.
Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for coming out. And guess what? Good luck. All right, for our viewers, there you heard it from the ladies, and of course, it's a girls' education, and we hope the best for these girls and as they go on to take up their education. You're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back. Business stories making headlines today. I'm Chantal Uwera. Zigama Bank to cut interest rates. Zigama Cooperative and Savings Society has announced that it will reduce interest rates from 13% to 12% to boost access to credit. The development follows complaints by members that the 13% interest charged annually is too high. This is the second time CSS is reducing its interest in 2 years. Last year, the bank slashed interests by 2%. The move is a big step towards increasing access to credit, given what most banks charge. While Uganda is a country that is not known for its technological infrastructure or even cell phone services, Brenda Kwesije is an innovative entrepreneur and brainchild of the mobile app Insta Health, which, according to Black Enterprise, instantly connects users to health centers, medical specialists, and ambulances, and also allows them to share their health experience with millions of people. She not only learned about the limited accessibility Ugandans had to healthcare and how expensive it was, but she also received a first-hand education. Jubilee tops profit list of insurers as Britam comes last. Jubilee Insurance has the highest return on the equity in 2015 among the underwriters listed on the Nairobi Security Exchange, as Britam performed the worst, as reports say. Jubilee Insurance has a return on exchange of 16.9%, while Kenya came second at 16.6%. The lowest was that of Britam at -5%. Britam also made a 1 billion shillings loss last year, a development that was linked to the lower valuation of the quoted firms in which it has invested. Well, that's all we had for you in business. Sports is coming up next with Kalimbas TV.
Welcome back. It's now time for your sports news. I'm Kalimba Steven. In cricket, national team and league club right guards opening batsman Eric Dusingzimana is excited ahead of his attempt to break the Guinness Book of World Records batting record. The batsman will attempt to bat from Wednesday to Friday, taking five-minute breaks to different bowlers. Dusingzimana picked up the idea to raise awareness about the game and to raise money to build a new cricket ground in Gahanga. The current record is at 50 hours, set by Indian batsman Viraj Malay. Rwanda Athletics Federation finalized the first ever edition of the Kigali Night Run. Preparations for the first edition of the Kigali Night Run are in high gear. The Friday night course will cover a distance of 3.9 kilometers starting from the Kigali City Hall and ending at the CAF Free Trade Zone. Delegates from the World Economic Forum are expected to attend and interact with Rwandan citizens. The run is a build-up to the 2016 Kigali International Peace Marathon set for May 22nd. In tennis, Novak Djokovic claims Madrid Open crown after defeating Andy Murray in 3 sets. Novak Djokovic held off a spirited comeback from the Brit Andy Murray to claim the Madrid Open title for the second time in his career. The Serb fought out a 6-2, 3-6, 6-3 win in 2 hours and 6 minutes to earn his 29th Masters Series title. Murray now drops below Roger Federer, who is second seed to the world number 3 after the loss. And in our profile today, we take a look at the VR Naidul Cup that was won by Cricket Club Challengers. It happened over the weekend at the Chichuchiro Cricket Oval. Take a look. The recently concluded VR Naidu Cup is one of 4 cricket tournaments in the country contributing to the growth of the game. The game was introduced 15 years ago. It is one of the fastest growing sports in the country, with more than 5,000 kids playing the game across the country. This year's edition of the Naidul Cup attracted 9 clubs. Much as it was retained by Challengers Cricket Club, it's still a platform for many young stars to prove themselves. The tournament kicked off in February with 9 teams in the men's category. They played from 2 pools, and rivals Challengers and the Right Guards made it past the semi-finals, and then to the finals like last year. Right guards batted first, making 107 runs for 6 in 20 overs, with Eric Dusingizimana contributing for 46 runs. However, at the end of the day, history repeated itself, with the challengers scoring 111 runs for 4 wickets in 17.5 overs to win by 4 runs. For challengers captain Srinath,
but we lost because we batted badly. So we started badly. They bowled well. They got most of our good batsmen early. So that's why we failed to win this game.
You know, the cricket is a team sport. It's not an individual sports like tennis where individual skills. That means 11 players playing, 11 minds in there. So that means with just one player playing, you can't win a match. So that means it's a team game. So if you're winning continuously, it's purely because of the team spirit and the team game and the game plan. You know, Right Guard is a very good team, but maybe the game plan didn't work out well. If they put on like another few scores, more like 140, it would have been tough. Since they put on a lower score, it made our task easier. Cricket in Rwanda is one of the fastest growing new sports in Rwanda. Cricket was introduced 15 years back in Rwanda, in the same place here. And today we can say we more than 5,000 kids playing cricket in Rwanda. And cricket is not only in Kigali today. If you see Kigali, cricket is played across the country, northern province, eastern province, southern province. We have development managers, paid development managers. Their job is go and take cricket to those schools, to those villages where people don't know about this game, spreading the game of cricket. It's a gentleman game, and there should be some alternative sports. Okay, football is there, cycling is picking up fast. You know, I think cricket is also one of the fastest growing games in Russia for us, and also I felt that they didn't play up to the potential today. The tournament has been improving. Earlier in first edition we had only 6 clubs. Today we have 9 clubs. So every year there is an improvement. That the standard of cricket has gone up. You know, because of we have got international players from Uganda coming and playing. So the standard, because of the players coming from outside and playing in our league, it is helping our boys, you know, to play the quality batsmen or quality bowler. You know, that certainly is helping on the Rwandan cricket in particular, because our youngsters can learn from them, because they have been playing for those countries. The guys who are coming in here with vast experience, it's a good learning experience for our boys.
Aside from the tournaments, other steps are being taken to grow the game, including a project to build a home for the game in Gahanga. With continued effort, cricket is destined for a bright future. Stephen Kalimba, Rise and Shine Rwanda. Up next is Peace Quizera with Lifestyle.
Here is to traveling and saving. Starting 1st of April to the 1st of June, travel with Rwanda and take advantage of our reduced fares and enjoy our world-class services in great comfort and safety.
Fly our dream to the heart of Africa.
Welcome back. It's time for Lifestyle with me, Peace Quizera. Now, over the weekend, we experienced how GAKONDO Group treated traditional music lovers, mesmerizing performances at the Hotel de Mille Collines on Friday evening. The evening was part of the beginning series of performances, which was held from the same venue, which will be held from the same venue every other Friday. GAKONDO Group used to hold weekly performances at Hotel de Mille Collines, but stopped playing because of during the end of 2014, because of the authorities introduced restrictions on noise pollution. But first, take a look at what we compiled for you.
Here at Hotel Mille Collines, where we'll be attending a GAKONDO night with a variety of different artists performing traditional songs and embracing our culture. Our very own legend, Masamba is among, and Jill Senhore, and a variety of other people. Take a look for yourself.
Yeah.
Well, there you had a little bit of an experience for yourselves. But now we were talking about this yesterday on the show, and I just want to hear, in addition to the views that you had yesterday, I just want to know what you have today. After seeing the video, you guys weren't there. I was with one of the PAs, of course. But I just want to hear, after seeing this, would you want to go to this now? Just tell us.
Oh my God, definitely. In fact, I'll just put it in my plans to go there every time that this happens. And I pray that the Rwandan police does something about this noise pollution. Sometimes noise is necessary noise. So we need that noise.
Yeah, but that's why they're back, there is, that much, there is not that much, strictness about noise pollution
I just
anymore.
hope there will be
and
no
that's
more
why.
disappointments.
Well, I don't think they will be going anytime soon now. Now it will be, for those at home who want to go to this Gakondo night, we'll also be there to experience it with you. So, but before we know we finish, I just want to know what Stephen has to say about this.
Well, Chantal, you talked about noise, but I think it's also on the role of the event organizers. I mean, there's a volume you can tune the music up to such that the people can enjoy, and the people across the road won't complain. So they should look at that, because the time these people had gone away, the Gakondo, I mean, it really felt it. So, and Gakondo is our music, so let them do something too.
True.
Well, apparently for me, I think I won't talk so much about the noise. I think it's something we can talk about. Again, we don't need a lot of noise for people not to sleep. Yes, a lot can be done with it, because a lot has been done. We've seen at least clubs that used to hit a lot of music and people, don't sleep. Now they have soundproof. So something maybe can be done also with the volume. But I want to specifically talk of Gakondo. I think Gakondo's genre of, say, in the modern Rwandan music is kind of special, because I think it has not only groomed like young talent, but also we have seen young people like Teta Diana. She's making it out there.
She's traveling
places. And remember, she's a prime member of the Gakondo group. I mean, we've seen Serge Sono is somebody who has a concert and people will go there. Of course, with the legend Masamba in Hore, we've seen very good music. And for me, one thing that Gakondo reminds me is that actually, even if we are born into the digital generation, we can actually really carry our culture, our brand, and sell it, and people will come and watch it, and they will say, wow, that's a unique culture.
Now, you're talking about Gabi Umutari. I mean, he really has some
Absolutely. Yes. Sure. I love the fact that, there's that combination of the modern kind of instrument with the culture thing, but it doesn't lose the originality. And that's why I think Teta is making big bangs, and, people are just
And that's the best,
fusion is just awesome.
Usually when I hear the word Gakondo, when I was reading this, it for me, I understand it in a different way. Please don't laugh at me, but I understand it as heritage. Like something that was given to us, like for example, umuraje. It's something that is not for only old people. It's something that we should also take on and embrace. And then entertain the. How Nigerians have come up with their own track, and we all dance to it. And it's crazy because somehow our music can also hit the charts and get excited about this. Now but, for other people who are wondering what this is about, I promise you it's a night that you do not want to miss. I was there, and after doing all my work, I just couldn't stop. I just stayed there until it was all done, and I was like, okay, that's it, I had my day. But that's the best part about having my job. But that's all we had for you today. Of course, we'll have for you more details here on the show, but that's all we had for you for Lifestyle. We'll be right back after the break. Well, like I always say, it's always sad to leave you guys, but we have to. That marks the end of our show. But don't forget, we'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here in the show. Now, tweet us at RiseandShine@W. Like us on our Facebook page and send us your ideas for the program. Check out our Rise and Shine YouTube page and also subscribe. This is where you can catch all the reports and the shows that we do. And lastly, find us on Instagram. And remember, we love to see your pictures. Now, that's all we had for you today. It was me, Peace Kwizera.
And of course, me, Ivan Magwen. And of course, with this wonderful team, we love that you are out there with us throughout the journey. And we hope we'll be at same time, same place tomorrow to give you all the latest news, hot topics, the sports and business. And don't forget that we are indeed leading. All right, for now, it's goodbye. And thank you so much for, for that. Goodbye for now.
Thank you.
And for viewers, we're out. Goodbye.
Bye. My control room.